Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Koi. This is my page, okay? I've been doing a lot of transitioning, and you're going to start seeing some new things up on this page, okay? But I did feel guided to do this because right now, as I'm recording this, is actually the solar eclipse. The nodes have changed, right? The south node is in Leo and the north node is in Aquarius. And with any eclipse, right, there are huge changes. Huge changes. And I want to say, particularly anybody that is a Leo sun, a Leo rising, an Aquarius sun, Aquarius rising. What are the other ones? The Scorpio and Taurus sun and rising. Y'all are having huge transformations, okay? But this reading really is about how we're shifting from the old and new identity. I know a lot of us have been experiencing in July, in June, probably even up until May, a lot of energy that was just like bam, boom, boom. And it's like you can feel it in your soul that you're moving forward. But the subconscious and unconscious is like, I don't know about this, right? Because we've been going through a huge cycle collectively around our identity. The Chiron placement in astrology was in Aries and it moved into Taurus now. So we're really looking at what we value a lot, right? And what are our deep desires? What are our gifts, right? What are our senses telling us who we are, what we feel, how we want to move through this life right now, right? There's a lot of things changing. And because this channel still and always will be connecting with my creative souls, my spiritual entrepreneurships, my coaches, my healers, right? I wanted to do this for you all because when we have eclipse seasons and the nodes do shift, especially with Leo sun moving from south node, it's best for us to check our identity. Our sun sign, regardless of what our zodiac sign is something to look at, to check our ego, right? But also to understand, what do we identify with most, right? What are we telling ourselves, right? What are we valuing about ourselves? And I know me, I'm a Leo rising, y'all. So I've been shifting into this new identity before, but now I'm really being like it's almost like the magnifying glass is like, do you see this here? So if there's any false identities, any false beliefs that we have around ourselves, now is the time to release that so we can really step into this authentic place of being, autonomy, and really attract and align with newer people, because Aquarius not only is about future endeavors, but it's about authenticity. It's about uniqueness. It's about your unique gifts that you hold, that if you stand true to them, you will be attracting like minds, like souls. All right. So for those that are still here listening to this intro, let's get into this. Pick a card. Okay. We do have a pile card 1, 2, and 3. And I like doing these card readings not to tell the future, right? But to tell you, to show you, actually, not even to tell you, to show you and inspire you in a way of thinking, reflecting, and moving forward in a way that can definitely help you set new intentions, especially on this new moon in Leo. Okay? So I'd advise you to take a deep breath in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. And whichever pile is jumping out at you still after that deep breath, go with it. If you love to watch all 3, be my guest. But we will be moving into pile 1 right now, okay? All right, my pile 1. So this is going to be like a 2-part thing going on, okay? We're going to explore the old and new identity that you're in right now, like literally, because I'm pretty sure all of us right now are like standing at the threshold. And some of us are already in the new identity, but we just don't even know it, okay? We don't know it. But the others of you, I just need you to be the reminder, okay? So let's talk about this. So this old identity, pile one, some of y'all were these corporate baddies, right? But used and abused, right? People really did not recognize your gifts in the corporate world right off the back. But part of you did not recognize your own gifts as well. And when I say gifts, your talents, like it can be this earthly realm, these skills that you accumulated. You might have went to college, you might have went to school, had the job, did all the things that you were told to do. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this can't be life. This can't be life. I know that happened to me. Okay. For others, y'all maybe just really still trying to prove to people by having, your bachelor's, your doctrines, whatever type of degree, right? That you are this person, you deserve this type of money. But if you're on this channel, you are a spiritual badass. You are a spiritual soul. You are a spirit having a human experience, and you're trying to really embrace these gifts that you have to really earn an income, right? Doing what you love, doing what you're passionate about. And that never coexists with working for people that aren't about lifting up the collective as a whole. Working for people that are in a capitalist society, right, and continuing to feed that cycle, that's not what we belong in. And because we're in this new age, right, Aquarius, blah, 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 right, it's like, boom, you started noticing, you possibly were playing with cards, crystals, whatever. Maybe you weren't playing with tools, right? Maybe you just had an experience that was like, whoa, like it was undescribable. It was angelic. It was like, yo, I just heard my higher self. Like, what is going on here, right? Some of y'all might have been into religious studies and really expanded your consciousness to a whole new way of thinking on a spiritual level. And this spiritual growth, this spiritual awakening really caused a lot of havoc, right? Because it's almost like the static when you're in the radio and it's trying to find like clarity of things, right? It's like, how can we get this clear radio station to come through? Imagine going through that. I'm sure it's almost like I can hear somebody saying, yeah, duh. Like I was going through this awakening, thought it was freaking crazy, right? But now you're in a space where you do know some of these tools and practices to help calm your energy, to help center your energy, right? And you're standing in a threshold like, what do I do? What do I do? One, definitely have that meltdown moment, because others too, like you might already know, like you might be in your second awakening and you're just like, why do I have to still work these jobs that I don't like to earn income, to survive, to feel stable within my life? It might be because you're identifying with the old stories that really hurt you, instead of understanding how it grew you and stepped into understanding your gifts in the first place. Now, let's talk about how to utilize this transformation. How are we using this transformative energy right now? Yeah. Some of y'all really feel stuck, but don't realize, look at this. Why are you mad? Like, I kind of feel like this card always comes up like, is your pride keeping you there? It is this energy of trying to prove somebody or prove yourself that you are a better person. You can handle XYZ, all this stuff. But when you really look at this, right? If you're the person that's trying to just be a better person and prove to yourself that you're a better person, just stop. Just stop. Maybe pause this and just think about all the things you've overcame already. Is that not enough proof that you're a strong individual? Like spiritual strength, right? That you're highly protected, that you have gifts and discernment that has brought you here right now. All these other people that tested you and devalued you and made you feel like crap, right? You don't have to prove a goddamn thing to them because you already made that. You're not even in this realm. You're not of that in the first place. So why would you try to... It's almost reminding me of years ago. I had a moment of clarity. I was dealing with somebody and they always kind of came around when it was time to drink and stuff like that. And no shade, like I was drinking too. But I remember there was a distinct moment where I was stopping drinking. I was stopping partying. I was stopping smoking. And they still wanted to do that. And they were upset with who I was. They said, "What do you think, that you're better than me?" Like, please. Second, like they were drunk trying to argue and I was sober. And it was that very moment that I'm remembering right now when I thought of, I'm like, what do I look like arguing with a drunk person? They're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Whatever they got going on, they're not going to throw that chaos on me. I'm sober. So I kindly said goodnight and closed the door. I'm sharing this because a lot of times we're mad at people that never were on our level in the first place. That comment, "Do you think that you're better than me?" Not necessarily, but I do see better things that I connect with, and you can too. But if you want to stay there, be my guest, because I will continue to grow. And it doesn't mean that I'm better than you, but being on a higher level than somebody, it just means that you feel that you deserve better. Okay? And we can't make other people feel that way. So I kind of feel like a lot of strength was taken from you, and there was a lot of beliefs that made you feel like you were small, made you feel like you weren't strong enough to move forward. But baby, I feel like you have, okay? Maybe a lot of the emotions, right? It's time to walk away from them or revisit them in a place of love, right? Some of y'all might have went through a lot, the twin flame journey, maybe even, and you came to a point where you had to choose yourself. And I want to tell you, that is the most pivotal moment of understanding the twin flame journey in the first place. When you choose yourself, you are choosing love, you are choosing God, you are choosing trust within God in this path, so you can move forward and align with that divine partnership. Because trust me, if that divine counterpart that you were going through hell and high waters with, if you, 9 times out of 10, you're holding that divine feminine code, you're holding a lot of weight. But when you're able to let go and release emotions around abandonment, around not feeling validated and things of that manner, really trust spirit in this path. You're choosing yourself. That divine counterpart, possibly the one you're thinking of, will feel that, will understand that, will awaken to that. But again, you cannot make anybody choose love. You cannot make anybody choose to be with you, but you can choose yourself. Because if you know better, you do better. If you want better, go after that shit, right? So, by understanding this, right, we're really trying to transform. And really what's in the middle here is transform this anger, transform this sadness, transform any energies around guilt, shame, or anything, right? Any energies that feel uncomfortable, there is a need for you to sit with. If you like cards, ask those questions to those cards to reveal it. Journal about something. Cry that shit out. Like, if you can see here, she's crying, right? Cry it out. I don't know why I'm hearing. Maybe there's a mother that's watching this, a father that's watching this. If you're around kids, you don't want to cry. I totally understand. But maybe you can cry in the shower. Maybe you can cry in the car. Right? There are little moments where you can make for yourself, even if it's 5 minutes. I'm the queen of saying that, even if it's 5 minutes, okay? Let's talk a little bit further to help you with this new identity code and this new intention that can help you move forward, okay? Okay. So we have the inner eye. Exactly. The third eye. See, this is what I was thinking. I kind of feel like a lot of your gifts that you thought were your talents come through your third eye, and it's a connection with spirit, and it's you needing to trust these gifts in the first place so then you can act on God's will to utilize them for your greatest good. You know, you have God-given talents in the first place, but are they meant to be made in corporate and office? I don't think so. You know, not everybody is an entrepreneur, not everybody is a leader. But one thing I do know is people are creating new businesses that do need help, right? And you can work for someone that has similar values to you. You know, like if anybody that's been in this corporate world, like please, right, like you feel and you understand, because it's like, you know, when you first get like some after the interview and they tell you like, oh yeah, you made it, right? They have this packet and stuff and they say my values. They have all these nice little values. Ain't none of them going by them values. They're full of crap, okay? But these are things that you can do, you can write, you can reflect on, because there's been some subconscious thoughts, limiting beliefs, as we call it, that has been keeping you stuck in this story of feeling victimized, you know, and you may have been a victim to whatever the situation was in your old identity. But this new identity moving forward is really helping you to understand your gifts and how to utilize those gifts to help other people and be around other people too. Anything is possible, baby. This is something that you need to understand. I don't know if I'm talking to a Leo here, because I'm just thinking like Leos, like a lot of people in like Hollywood and like celebrities or whatnot, a lot of them that aren't born from nepotism may hold a strong Leo placement, okay? Or have a strong planet in the 5th house, or even their 10th house. And it's just like, they shine. Lights, camera, action. But that performative energy builds the ego. And when we can embrace our love from a place of not performing, because I had to really learn this, not trying to please mommy and daddy or anybody else, right? Not trying to even, because I come from a world of graphic design, y'all. If you've been rocking with me, you know. That means that I was used to and conditioned to create my things off of what the audience is. Let's do this for the audience. And a lot of my entrepreneurship, I had to really, really decondition. Like I'm talking about like right now within this year was very pivotal for me to really just be like, okay, I'm still doing this. Okay, no, I'm going to create something for me because I love it. And who cares if only 3 people like it, right? And that's ballsy, because I am building a business where I am stable and can receive money from my creative expressions and my skills and talents. But if I'm creating something from a place that is just for me to understand, and I have these limiting beliefs of nobody understands me, like what the, right? No, I've had to work on my self-worth to understand I am very worthy, and people will understand and meet me where I am too, because it's quality over quantity in the first freaking place. Okay. And when I trust my path, I honor myself and the decisions I make. Third eye right there. And I feel like those that are really connecting with this first place, this first card deck, understands this, right? And if you're having a hard time, just sit with this. I'm confused and afraid I might choose something bad for me. Sit with that. How does that feel? Journal that. Because this angel of Aurora is helping you welcome new beginnings. Let the sun shine in your life, baby, and build resilience with self-care and stability. You know, you want stability in your life. How can you build it from within? By making things more stable within your own energy with self-care, right? Focus on the things that you can control, not other people that you can't control. Let's just look at the Archangel's book real quick about anything that pops up for Aurora. And so this is a twin flame of Uriel, the peace energy. She carries this divine feminine energy and shares this etheric retreat in Poland. Okay, we don't really need to talk about that. New beginnings. She literally brings new dawn. Let me see. If you want to read all of this, just pause for the cause, okay? But I want to read something that pops out. When all hope seems to have faded, Archangel Aurora will burst in, often suddenly, to bring about the changes that transform everything. She lights life up with happiness. This is popping out for me. A light may switch on in your mind regarding an aspect of your life or future. You may suddenly see new possibilities or wake up to the potential in a person or project. Maybe, right? It's time for the old attitude and situation to drop away and be replaced in moments by light and heaven. I was just saying this. Don't give up hope, baby. Do not. And I just want to say, when the moment arrives, be ready to receive it with open heart, love, and wisdom. Okay? It's time and welcome. You deserve what is coming to you, and accept it and joy. So all of these things that you've received, you may have even walked away from a relationship. I'm not so sure about the relationship coming back, okay? But if this person was the reason why I made you mad, sit with those feelings first, right? And really embrace yourself first. What do you want? Okay? Connect with the angelic energies. And really recognize your strength in this time, because you went through a lot, okay? And definitely in the job situation. And I just really want you to know that your skills, your talents, your gifts are needed. We need to see you in that manner. But if you are holding on to, usually it's subconscious, to like old energies, they're blocking your chakras. They're stopping you from moving forward physically. So choose self-love and gain a stable way of practicing more self-care, self-love, to build that resilience of knowing who you are, okay? Because anything is possible, baby. All right? Thank you very much. I'd love for you to check out the Substack. This is where I go over my new card deck that I have, and this book that is built with stories around this. You know, I'm going to be sharing excerpts of what's happening in the new project that has been taking me years, y'all, okay? But I'm here. I'm ready to share, and really want to shine forward and connect with a new community, to just show that, you know, a multi-passionate person like myself that does a lot of things can always incorporate it all, okay? And yeah, I talk about healing and all that stuff. So come on over, check out deeper insight on what I have on YouTube here, and we can move forward. And there's just a lot on my page, so just check it out. All right, let's move to pile 2. Okay, pile 2, let's get into it. Okay, so at first we're going to talk about your old and new identity. Where are you at right now? What's going on with you? Okay, I love to see this. So pile 2, it seems like this is very different from pile 1. It seems like you've been working hard on protecting your peace, comes to mind. You may like to journal. You may like to write. But I do feel like your crown chakra is popping, and you know it. There's been some energies where you're trying to make sense of the downloads that you've been getting. And I do feel that you're a very spiritual person. I feel that you have more than likely overcame a lot of, backlash, possibly with other people, family, friends, whatever. And you kind of have been already getting over the fact that, like, this is no longer who I am. I don't care if you see me as that old person. This is who I really am. But I do think that, you know, you probably might resonate more with having a second awakening, a third awakening, whatever. You've been having this awakening and you've been recognizing like, oh snap, like, yeah, I am burnt out. This is what happens in awakening. Yeah, I feel a little scrambled, whatever. Like, you understand your gifts, but there are new gifts that have came in that you're starting to understand, like, okay, this is a new level here, new level up, new identity that Spirit is calling you to embrace, boo. Embrace and celebrate that too. Celebrate that. It's funny, I'm just looking at 36. I don't know if you might be 36 years old, in your 30s. Life path 9, not sure, but you might be also working on a craft too, where now it's time to step up and really express this new way of creativity in a new manner, and really seeing yourself in a way that is like a child of God. It's almost like you know this, but at the same time, you kind of been struggling with practicing what you preach. You've kind of been struggling with utilizing your gifts on you for your own healing. And it's like a deeper sense. You may also have been struggling with this isolation that Spirit has been trying to put you through to really understand your own energy. Some of us too, like, we know ourselves to be empaths, but why do we still hang around certain people? Right? And then wonder why we walk away confused and drained. Because we still have these subconscious thoughts, unconscious feelings that are still stirring in our energy, in our aura. That's just really what it is. And I know sometimes people be like, oh, I'm tired of healing. Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's look at this, where healing doesn't have to be about crying in the pillow and being lonely. Healing might be Spirit-led, where it can show you where the sun is instead of where the rain is. It can show you who you really are deep down inside in the mirror. Some of y'all might be needing to do some mirror work, right? Really embracing this new look of how you are. Because Lord knows there is such thing as I can't remember what it's called, but it's a way of like where some people literally see themselves in a whole different way. It's almost like a, mental illness type of thing where, like, if you, I'm sorry if I'm triggering somebody, but I will say this, if you have anorexia or whatever, like, they're literally like physically, probably their eyes are literally showing them that they're big and they believe that. And I'm not saying that any of you have this. This is an extreme form of mental illness, disease, right? But some of us have mental illness where we're not really honoring ourselves. And again, if you're an empath, a lot of times you might be absorbing people's way of thinking, the conditioning that you may not have looked at. And it's forming a way of how you see yourself, seeing yourself as fat when you're not. First of all, the word is okay. Let's see what else we have going on here. Because I feel that you've been in a very way of like, yes, you've been, okay. Let's just look at this right here. How is being perfectionist stopping your progression? Okay, so let's talk about this. So if you don't like the word fat, right, you could be big boned, you could be plump, you could be chubby. Right? If you don't like being skinny, because even skinny people don't like that word at times, right? You can be thin, right? We don't have to talk about being bony, right? You can just look at yourself. There's some mirror work that's needed, I do think, but it's also about how you see yourself. And this Leo in the South node is really going to help you break down some of these things that your ego has been feeding you, these conditions, this way of how you think has been affecting how you act. And I feel that you know this, right? But it's something to dig deeper in because you've been called to something higher. And you know this, but you've been wondering, okay, well, why am I not there? Why am I not in this moment? One, because it's not the season. Two, you might be still in this cocoon like energy, right? Where you're protecting your peace and understanding like, okay, actually, I've had a lot of great moments. And because you might be confused about what you need to do to move forward, there's something with this self-sabotage of being the perfectionist here. It's like you got it all in front of you. But what is causing this perfectionist to attack you? What is causing the perfectionist to tell you, oh no, this isn't good enough? Something to think about during this new moon here, because we're going to set better intentions for that. And we're going to look at yourself in a way that you know you're worthy of all this stuff that you desire. It may not come out the exact way that you want it, but God knows best. Spirit is guiding you to actually take further steps in a way that feels grounded to you. I think that right now could be a good way to really sit in nature with some things, because I think if you haven't noticed already, Spirit is really tearing down a lot of internal conflict here. A lot of internal conflict on how you see yourself. This is the inner eye, you know, the all-knowing eye here. Let's, I want to like get into your identity code here, because I really think that you like to do a lot of writing. If you don't like to do a lot of writing, it might behoove you to do so during this season, during this time, during this solar eclipse. Also, I'm getting to look into what your sun sign is and what the highest octave is for your sun sign. You might want to type that into these AI services if you go down that road. If you have books about zodiac signs, because there are definitely low-level versions of, a certain sign, and there are higher versions of that. And when we talk about our sun sign, right, our sun sign and our rising sign is something like, well, let's talk about the sun sign. That's your life path, right? Me as a Gemini, I'm going to always be around people that cannot communicate. I'm going to be challenged with communicating better for myself, expressing myself better, right? Being okay with knowing 2 different sides or knowing 1,000 different sides, and knowing how to choose what is best for me, right? Because the lower version of the Gemini is very gossipy, can't communicate, can't express how they feel, right? And they go ghost on people and then expect people to understand what the heck's going on. Absolutely not. That's low vibrational. The life path of what your zodiac sign is to understand the top tier of that sun sign, right? And to really, what we're doing right now with the Leo in South Node is to really release egotistical views of self, or what people projected on you to be, right? And that's something to look at too, is your rising sign, because this is your rising sign is how people see you, but you also have to see yourself and rise to the occasion of, this is my energy, and see how it fluctuates. So I'm sharing a lot of this stuff. If you're into astrology, think of things of, how does my rising sign interact with my sun sign? What is my sun sign? The highest form of my sun sign. How do I express it? How do I tap into that energy? All right. Something you might want to journal. Let's go into this new identity code. Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? We have Archangel Batal. I still don't know how to pronounce this. But Yalil? I don't know. Booty Yalil? I don't know. But we do have, it's interesting. Okay. I release the pressure to perform, to love. I release the pressure to perform for love. I definitely thought I said that correctly. That could be where your perfectionism is coming from too. I don't know. Oh, nice. Heart space. Heart chakra. Yes. I seek abundance of self-love. Lovely. Now see, sit with this because this is a shadow aspect. There isn't enough. I'm not enough and I need more. These are my chakra cards, affirmation card deck. And I have light statement and a shadow statement that I want people to really look at both sides and just sit with how it makes you feel. Because some of these words is just like, that's not me. But like, we don't want to come from a place of judgment, right? We just want to see how it feels. And when you see how it feels, it's just like, maybe I do act like this, or maybe I don't like this because of some type of experience that you've had. And this is nice. Sound, frequency, and resonance. Okay. So this new identity is really helping you step into these self-love practices. I don't know if you might be even a coach or some type of entrepreneur that really wants to share a lot of practices that help heal and help you see yourself in who you truly are. I don't know. But there's a form of perfectionism that's been stopping you. And I need you to look at, like, you've done a lot of work. You might just be in this new awakening. Like, we go through multiple awakenings. We go through multiple dark nights of the soul. And right now, you just might be evolving into this newer space, this higher self. Like, our higher self even grows, y'all. Like, I just want to share this with you. So it's like your higher self is evolving, expanding, and wanting to pour deeper things in you. But you might be like, well, nah, it needs to be like this. Or what happened to the old goals that I was trying to do for my business or entrepreneurship or whatever? Push it aside. You might not need those, but I'm sure there's a way to incorporate that as well. Do the things that you know that you're trying to share with other people. Do the things on you more. Because there's no need. Like, you might need more rest and you might be struggling with feeling guilty of resting, right? But you feel the urge to be like, I just feel guided to do more. You are doing more, but the curtain doesn't need to be open yet. Like, you might be organizing the background. Like, think of it like this, right? You're making a play and you knew exactly what play to have, this, that, and the third, right? But something made you feel deep down inside your soul was like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't the right title. Something's not right. So you're organizing all this stuff before the audience even comes, right? You might not even know that your audience is there because you're behind the curtain and you're putting up, the background so people can see. You're telling the actors where to go and how to change this stuff. So when it's time and curtain calls to open it up, it'll be exactly the way it needs to be. And what happens if, the curtain opens a little prematurely and people are like, oh, snap. People are coming and sitting down. They see you organizing. Who cares? Maybe that's part of the daggone show in the first place, right? And maybe that part might even really allow people to love you even more, see you in your essence even more, right? Sound frequency is very potent right now. You may also want to listen to affirmations with certain frequencies. You might want to put a frequency on, like the heart frequency, and write out some things that spill out of your heart. I have a really good practice for this, actually. And if you're not subscribed to my Substack or even on here, please do, because I'm going to be sharing more gatherings with people with practices that I know that has helped soul care, right? That has helped me create products, tools that helped me deeply. And I love to share with people right now, Let's look into what this archangel is about, because it says be independent. Again, I think you've been learning how to really protect your peace because you've had a lot of chaotic family members, friends, people. And it's like, okay, you're at this point where it's like, I'm happy with being alone, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like lonely. You know what I'm saying? And that may have rised up and made you feel like, what's going on here? This says it's time to fly. Listen to your intuition. Expand your horizons. So I'm going to leave this here. If you want to read all of this, just pause it. I'm going to read to you what is popping out for me, okay? So this is a seraphim, which is a big deal. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Please don't, because you're probably looking like this is the wrong one. It is the wrong one. Look at me. I don't know if anything pertains to this for you, but let's see, okay? Because this is a universal angel, which is very, and connected to Metatron. Okay, that's a big ass angel, okay? So pause here. All right. So right here, I want to read, he uses the wisdom to keep them in equilibrium, to regulate the huge cosmic currents that flow around them, and to keep the cohesion of the stellar world. Right there is telling me you may also have been feeling a lot of collective energy. And you're trying to understand, is this me? Like, why am I so tired? No, you're picking up on a lot of energy, and spirit does want you to rest, because when you can rest without the guilt, you can actually know what people are actually wanting and needing. And you can kind of cater to this or fix and fine tune to things, not in a perfectionist way, but in a way where it's like, oh, okay, like, let me put a little sugar in this. Let me sweeten this up a little bit, okay? Because last time somebody did say it wasn't sweet enough, not to cater, and be like, look at me, like I want to be validated. No, but just in a way that you feel confident putting your stuff out there. And confidence can mean that, like, okay, I know that hands down, this is what the collective needs. So, like, here I am. And you explain it in your unique way. There's something about timing too. And it is time to shine. It is. But you're shining in a way that shines from within, because you are filled with love, not in a way that you are looking for love and knowing like, okay, well, if I do this, this is going to make me happy. It's more about feeling like soul, like led. Spirit is guiding you through this. Allow spirit to guide you through this, because in a way, like, you might be thinking about all these things in your head, but not really listening to your heart, which is being moved in a certain way, Not to say that you're wrong, but to say that there's a heart-led situation here. And the only way to resolve this solution, this question, this block, or whatever you might be having, is to lean into your heart more and release thoughts about it. Identity does deal with the mind, but you kind of have to feel your way out of a paper bag, if that makes sense. Okay. So we're talking about something very big, intergalactic, right? I'm seeing the mighty seraphim working with humanity. I don't know. I wonder if you're Aquarius. There's a lot of light that is being shined through. Right, let's read this guidance though. This card calls on you to expand your horizons. This is an important incarnation for you to step up, to be all that you can, develop the interdependence for this. This feels very Aquarian, quality that will enable the new golden age to flourish. This practice, others will follow your light. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like when you're heart led, your light shines. You're not turning the light on. It just naturally comes on. And it makes me think of Aquariuses. And I'm in school with Aquarius that's told me this. Like, usually they can feel when someone's trying to do all this stuff or perform from some way, like, oh, like, let me try to be cool type of thing. And it's like, no, like, they appreciate people being themselves and they find that cool more so, invoke the unicorn and ask them to work with you. Your purity that's noted. It's like you being the leader. The leader. The leader does not look for other people to tell them what to do or to cater to people. They do what they feel is best to do, and it starts generating energy that attracts like minds. Okay. And the leader is the unique person, the person that has that unique perspective, that shares, that expresses things that they want to help, right? Not looking for someone to help, but that they want to help because they know that they will attract that. Your higher guidance is to influence people and promote a flow of goodwill, love, peace, and accord. By liaising with others, communicating and cooperating for the highest good, you will enable the life and flow with harmony. This is also making me think too, because you come from this chaotic background and you don't really have friends probably anymore and this and that, you will attract more people that understand you when you can kind of just tap into your heart and use the wisdom that brought you here and understand who you are now. Now that you got rid of those things that don't align with you. And where do you want to go? Where do you really want to go? If you're not really too clear on that, that's okay. But I guarantee you, if you do more heart resonance, you'll understand, like, a question yourself, like, what really makes me feel like joy? Right? And you can look and see like, oh, I did see so-and-so doing this stuff. So how can I do it in a way that makes me feel joyous, makes me share my uniqueness, and really see myself and my gifts in a way that has helped me? And knowing that it helped you be where you are right now, you know, for damn sure it's going to help other people. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Pile 2. Check out my Substack. This is where I go deeper into the things that I talk about on YouTube. I have been working on my card deck, my latest card deck, Soul Called Journey, and expressing that in a way, shape, or form. I'm also going to be sharing what connects it with this book that I have that shares other things, practices, experiences, all that stuff to really help you understand your healing process, your unique gifts, and create your passions in a way that can possibly get paid for it, okay? But not in a way of give me money, in a way of value that you hold and you attract, all right? So just check it out, because I'm going through a huge transition myself. I'd love to say, you know, this is what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. But I just want you to follow the journey. Check out my page, my Substack page, and be here. If you haven't subscribed, you know, please do so. And check out more, because I have 5 card decks that I created that I will be sharing. And yeah, so check me out, and let's go to pile 3. Okay, pile 3, last but not least, let's talk about this old identity that you got going on over here. Okay. This is giving me vibes of pile 1. There's this soul recognition that you understand from a person. Might even be from like a job, right? Some type of experience that helped you understand, and you had this soul awakening, and you're like, whoa. Someone saw you, you saw yourself, and now you're in this place of understanding this whole meeting, this meetup. I'm going to say it's probably a person, and it took you for a very big loophole. But like, you may have this identity wrapped around, like a certain partnership, or like the type of person that's always in like a relationship, right? And you didn't really understand like why, because like every time you tried to be independent or something, people would deem you like bad, or like, you know, cause some type of like weirdness around. It's like, but I'm just being me. Almost like, for instance, like I remember a lot of people, especially guys, they used to be like, well, why are you single? Like, what's going on with you? Like, are you like, really? Like, GAY? Like, people would really try to project some BS because I didn't have kids, like all this stuff. And it's like, this is what society teaches you, though. Even though there were certain things that I did want, but when I look back at it, a lot of things that I thought I needed was really running my life and made me feel sad because I didn't have it, because of the projections and because of, again, the societal view that I thought, right? Like, oh, I had to have a job by XYZ amount of age, have kids by a certain age, be married by a certain age. No. And it was crazy because I was not. And then it was like, I was feeling like, well, damn, was something wrong with me? Ain't nothing wrong with me. All this stuff that I could do because I'm single, all this stuff I could do because I don't have kids, right? There's a need for the perspective shift. And I think that you probably have been ruminating this, pile 3. You've probably been ruminating this. You've probably been dabbing into understanding ways of self-love. Possibly may have taken yourself on a self-love date, right? And been okay with like people staring at me because I'm sitting alone eating. Yeah. And who cares, right? Let's see what's happening. Yeah. There's something that you always wanted, but there is something that you came to understand within these past couple of months, probably, that you still want it, but just in a different way, a different light. What does this say? Yeah, there's something. Okay, let's just move this out here because we see two people. This card doesn't necessarily mean two people, but I'm just going to call a spade, right? You might be familiar with the word twin flame, all this stuff. But the relationship, because I'm probably sure you're in separation, you don't talk to them, you might talk to them, everything is different. It was all good just a week ago type of thing, right? But I think that you're coming to understand how intuitive you are, how your intuition led you to this very moment of understanding the wisdom behind the relationship. And there was a lot of discernment that was needed for you to build, to understand, to stop being victimized. Because sometimes we do continue to put ourselves in these places. Not to say that it's okay and it was right for you to get effed up, right? But it's like our subconscious beliefs can literally bring us to situations, right? And saying yes to being in a relationship, saying yes to working at a certain place, right? Saying yes to going back to the very place that hurt you, right? Like even like going to your home, like going back home to your parents, right? You might have said yes because there were certain beliefs that made you feel like you needed to and you didn't at that time. But you doing that and choosing whatever you chose, you're taking accountability and you're understanding, okay, I may have chose that didn't feel right at that time. It was more fear being led than love and trust. But you know this wisdom now and you have better discernment. So it's almost like you had this desire to always be married, wifed up, I just heard, right? But you might have chosen bad suitors, and it's okay. You have a lot of wisdom, and it's okay to still want that and desire that. But by releasing the bad emotions, or I don't really want to say bad emotions, just the experiences that felt like crap, right? You can now look at it from a higher perspective and be like, well, I did learn this lesson. Let's act accordingly. I did kind of have these abandonment issues that made me cling on and attach to people. Or you might have had these rejection wounds, right? That you felt good being in a relationship, but as soon as you felt the rejection from somebody else, you started attaching, right? If you're familiar with attachment style, look it up if you're not, right? But 3 is company. It's almost like, I don't know if you felt like the third wheel, you always was with somebody that had another person. I don't know. But I do know that now is time to detach from these emotions that have been looping you in some type of experience. You may have a water sign. There's something here that is bringing energy to cleanse these emotions and allow things to flow instead of be stagnant. and allow yourself to really release performing for love, really release the rejection that you couldn't control when in love, right? But you can love yourself. There's a lot of deep wisdom that you hold around love. And really explore what you want to grow now. Let's look at your new identity code here. Okay, I'm like, let's get one more because this was in pile one. This is why I don't know if you ain't watched pile one, but watch it if you didn't. Community. Yeah, see, and it landed right here. There's been friends and like people that really, like, I feel like maybe you've went back to because it felt safe. And there's something about your nervous reset, like being okay with other people, to understand like you deserve other people to make you feel good. Look at this one. I'm uncomfortable feeling my emotions. Sit with that. There's something with the heart space. Pile 2 had the heart space, but it was a different card. I love the person I'm becoming. You know, like, it's reminding me of being in relationships, because all relationships are mirrors. But the twin flame journey, I'm saying this because sometimes I really don't like this because it's been very muddled and distorted. When you hold certain codes that are higher forms of love, okay, we fit into this twin flame journey. And the one that is really intuitive and being led by spirit, and the other one that wants to deny spirit, right? Usually the one that's being led by spirit is the feminine energy, is receiving a lot of things. And it's a lot of pushback from them and their significant other, because they're not really connecting with God how you are. But because of your upbringing, you tend to dismiss God as well, because you're not seeing yourself as the God that is forming and molding and channeling through you. All right. And the higher octave of love. Love also can mean no. Love also means choosing yourself, because you can control yourself. You can choose for yourself. You can't do that with other people. That's the crazy thing about love, right? You can love somebody down to the bone. The other person won't love you at all, or the enormity of the same that you have. And you can't make somebody feel that way. You can't make people feel something that they don't want to feel. But you can. You can sit with yourself, because there's something here, release the need to shrink my authentic self. I feel that you've been, like, a lot of relationships that you've had, even family members, like, relationships are mirrors. And twin flames, right? They are huge mirrors that show other people things too. And I want to share with you that whoever you met that you thought was a twin flame could possibly be, but they may have not been ready to feel and see themselves. And you may have felt like you wasted a lot of time trying to show them. I don't want to say you wasted your time, but you did put in a lot of effort to show them. Put that effort in showing yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror. Don't shrink your authentic self. Whether it be them, past relationships that have really projected like you ain't shit, really trying to make you small, really be mean towards you. Why were you guided towards them? Maybe because the discernment wasn't there. And now, like, you're so used to giving so much love, you're depleted, right? Because you didn't give it to yourself in the first place. How can you give and help other people if you're at E? Just like a car. How are you going to drive around E? Can't get far too much, right? Somebody calling you, you ain't got no money, your car on E, and you got to go 50 miles to go pick them up. Your first instinct might be, oh, let me go help them. oh shit, I don't have any money. You might even go high in hell water to get money to go help them. But no, you're on E. And you did all that stuff and they didn't appreciate it. Stuck in those cycles. Start appreciating yourself. Archangel Gabriel has something to share with you. Because you, like Archangel Gabriel, right, not only carries a lot of light and diamond energy, but it's like this creative energy that you can create something from nothing. And that's so highly, it's a high form of love, of self and love of God, trusting that God is channeling these energies through you in the first place to give and help other people, right? Let me see. Let's talk about Gabriel. What does Gabriel want to share with you? Okay. White energy. I like to say like translucent energy, but representing purity, clarity, joy, and creativity. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but you can pause for the cause if you want to read all of it. I'm just going to read what pops out to me. Archangel Gabriel helps you aspire to higher levels in light and enables you to find clarity and make wise decisions, discernment, what feels good and bad, by placing cosmic diamond over you. He cuts away any negativity so that you can view the situation from an enlightened perspective. Was I saying about going up higher, right? He illuminates illuminates you with love and bliss. And I feel that you do this with other people, but there's a need for you to do that for yourself right now. There's a need for you to find comfort within yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because just because this relationship may have not worked out for you, it doesn't mean that's the end all be all. It does not. It doesn't mean that it's the end all be all with that person, and it doesn't mean that the end all be all with healthy relationships. You have to build a healthy relationship first with yourself, so you can know what type of friends, so you know what type of partnership, right? So you don't feel like you're still in the same way of shrinking yourself, feeling little, feeling like nobody, you don't deserve stuff, but still have the biggest heart for other people. Let's talk about it. Drawing this card suggests that you are seeking clarity about a person or situation. Sit quietly and ask Archangel Gabriel for guidance. Visualize vast shimmering cosmic diamond being placed right over your energy fields to hold you in the highest light. As this happens, know the old ideas are outmoded point of views and being released, and that your frequency is rising. So I think that this right now is a great time for you to just understand who you are, your gifts, what you bring to the table. And then once you start understanding that and accepting that, right, you're filling yourself up. Because we automatically, like science even shows, like there's a way of, if you're with somebody and attaching with people, right, if you're having SE eggs with people, there's this energy that gets tied in, right, and merges together. And when that person goes, it will feel like a hole, but it's not the end all be all, right? How do you fill that hole? Not by finding another person, not by chasing after them, by filling yourself up with love. What did you want that person to see? See it within yourself. What did you want to do with that person? Do it with yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, because that hurt sometimes outweighs the love and the happiness and the joy. But how you find balance is taking it one day at a time, recognizing how you feel. If you feel bad, if you feel tired, let it be. It's okay. Put on some heart frequency medicine. Okay, I said medicine, that came out. Heart frequency sounds. It just vibe out. Nature is our very, very, very biggest energy that can give to us unconditionally, right? So, and I don't know, I'm just seeing somebody planting flowers even, or buying themselves flowers, roses or something like that. Do that for yourself. Those are little things that you can do for yourself. And Know that it's okay to cry, right? Know that it's okay to ask for help, but let this be your moving guide to really help stabilize and trust yourself, trust your heart. Is this giving you a good or bad feeling? If it's giving you a bad feeling, don't do it. Even though your mind might be saying, do it, do it, do it, don't do it. Give yourself 24 hours. Give yourself a week. Come back and ask yourself, is this a good or bad feeling? And then see if it has changed or not, right? But if you're one of those people that are like, it's giving me a bad feeling, fuck it. Let's not do that, right? Because sometimes we say F it and then it comes back and we're like, what's happening here, right? Ask yourself that. Let this be your mantra until you're able to feel that it's okay to release this person, release this situation, and really step into the energy that is aligned with your dreams, your hopes, your desires, and values that also align with that too, okay? This is my pile 3. This is where I'm going to stop this here. Please know anything is possible. I am so appreciative of y'all watching this. I would love for you to check out my Substack if you haven't already. I dive deeper into things that are about the soul care journey, that are also about my newest card deck that I have. And I'm going to be sharing some excerpts from my book that I have yet to finish. But it's all about the soul call journey, the soul care, sharing practices, and really helping you feel like embracing your gifts so that you can follow your passions, work on passion projects for your healing, and also probably get some coins for your passions too. I love to share all these things and again dive deeper into Substack. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. You'll also get alerted to my group meetings that I'll be having where it's live and we'll be talking about these things, online events and stuff like that. And if you like YouTube, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe, boo. All right. Until next time, I hope you enjoy this solar eclipse. Work on yourself. There's huge changes happening. And come back for some more, all right? Peace, y'all.